Hey everyone, my name is Robert and I am a Subaru ambassador, and today I am going to show you how to configure the angles and lines on your cameras in your Subaru Ascent. If you have the Touring, you have a front and a rear camera and a Smart Rearview Mirror camera. If you have the other trims, then you have your rear backup camera, and that's the first one I'm going to show you how to configure. To configure that, for instance, the backup lines, you would press and hold the home button, and then you would tap tune scroll twice and then let go. You go to your camera settings menu here and you scroll down to camera setting to change the lines. Now, we'll get to the other settings in a second. When you pull that up, you're going to see this, and you can see that my wheel right now it's straight. What these arrows here do are they change where these lines sit. So for instance, you can see that these lines are parallel with my curb lines here, so that's where I wanted them. If they were not parallel, let's say that they were angled inward, you can extend them outward like that until they align parallel, and you'll see right now they're not parallel. They're kind of going like this on that side and like that on that side, so that's wrong. So we're going to bring them back down. And then here's left and right adjustments. Restore to default by pressing that button there. Now, another thing that this comes in handy for is, let's say you have a trailer. You can align that little red plus there with the ball on the trailer, so that when you're backing up, it's a little bit easier to see, but just remember to set it back to a place that's a bit more reasonable for normal backing up. When you're done, you hit set, and then you hit back, and you're done. Now, these settings over here, that of course restores default like it says. Your guideline you can turn off, and then you don't have any guidelines. You can turn your guide light on, and you can turn off caution. Now, when you turn off caution, then that's going to be the alerts that it shows. Parking is off right now. And you've got your steering line angle. Now you can turn that one off right there, and what your steering line angle does is, now when I turn the wheel, and I am turning the wheel, you don't see the lines that show where your steering wheel is. So we're going to turn that back on right now. And now you can see it. Now I'm going to show you exactly where these line up. Right now I have, as you can see, little blue pieces of tape that are aligned with the outside edges of the wheel. We're going to move the car forward, and you'll see that you basically have just a couple of inches. So these give you just enough space that you're not going to scrape a rim. You can see the little blue lines right there. There's blue line number 2. And blue line number 3. Now that's the length of the car. You can also tell that these things do kind of distort the view. It is elongated a bit so that you can see a bit further down. Now we are going to show you what these parking lines are like. We're going to pull out, and then we're going to pull back in. The lines try and approximate where the car is going to be as you're backing up into your spot. So you'll see my blue tape at some point right on the floor. It's all the way up there. We're going to aim for that. So it's just a kind of approximation of where the car is going to be, and we try and keep it aligned with that. I kind of went off angle a teeny bit. And right there, we're at about the same place that we were before. When you're done, pressing home isn't going to do anything. The only way to get out of this is to hit the back button there. And you can hit your home button. After that, you'll see that you're still stuck in the screen. Still can't get out of it. Hit your home button up there. And now the functionality on this has returned to normal. Okay, now that I've shown you how to adjust that, I am going to show those of you who have the Touring models how to adjust the Smart Rearview Mirror Camera. So up here is your Smart Rearview Mirror Camera with a great view of my fence. And to adjust this, the left button here goes into your settings. You can see your little controls there. Now this does time out pretty quickly, so exit, cycle back through. We're gonna go into display because that's what we want to do. Then you'll see these symbols here. You've got your brightness, up, down, left, right, and then angle of the camera. We're gonna have to go back in. As I said, it times out pretty quickly. So you would use this first button here to cycle through the choices that you want, and it just goes right, 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 and then back to the beginning. So once you are on the one that you want to adjust, let's say we want to adjust up, down, you would then do second and third button. Second button will be down, third button will be up. Now go over to the next one. Second button will be left, third button will be right. Go to the next one. Second button will tilt this way. Third button will tilt it back. And there you go. Now it will automatically time itself out pretty quickly, as you all have seen, and you could go back in. Now this is also, of course, where you would do your Homelink setup. To do this, follow the instructions that come with your particular garage door opener, and you can go to the website, this website right here, to find instructions that are pertinent to the Subaru Ascent. Now scroll down, and here's your compass settings, and you could turn off your heading display. You can do your compass zone selection. So I am right there in zone 11, but you could change this, and it gives you a nice graphical view of it on the screen here that covers everything pretty much from Nova Scotia all the way around through to Alaska. And be careful, because some of the zones do overlap, because it does curve around because of the way that the magnetosphere works. So for instance, zone 5 is Alaska, and it's also California. So follow that around, pick where your zone is, use your arrows to go where you want. It just cycles through. So we are now in zone 10, which we don't want to be. We're going to go back in, down, compass zone selection, and zone 11, and then return out. Now, as I said, you can go into heading zone display, and you could turn it off. And if I turn that off, then it's going to disappear. This left button here is your selection button. We're going to cycle back through and turn it back on. And then we're going to use the right button to return back. We're going to go down, and here's your compass calibration. This you do in a parking lot where you have a lot of room and people who aren't going to think that you're crazy. You go into that, you press calibrate, and you follow the instructions on the screen. You're going to be doing some figure eights and stuff. So again, go someplace you're not going to get in trouble with security or law enforcement, and where your neighbors aren't going to think that there's something wrong with you. And calibrate your compass here. And then when you're done, you return out of it. And that's it. You could return out of all of these, or you could go down to exit, whatever your preference is. And boom, that's how you calibrate your Smart Rearview Mirror Camera. Anyway, I hope that helps. Your front camera down in your information display over here is not able to be calibrated through those menus. Sorry about that. I don't have a solution for all of you there. But that's set pretty well, and that's kind of physically locked into place in the front of the car, so it's not going anywhere. Have a great day.